Hello everyone, my name is Michael and welcome to Thought Space. The two things I want to share today. First thing is my ideas on why people fail over and over and over again. And the second thing is the idea of learning from other people's mistakes. So I'm going to get into that in a bit, but first off, first thing I want to talk about was I watched somewhat recently the movie Kill Bill. And in that movie, she had to learn how to break a block of wood by punching it. Her first few attempts, her first many attempts, she failed miserably. Her hand was bloody, it was swollen, and I imagine that it would have been extremely painful to give another attempt when her hand was that destroyed. But she kept going, and eventually she learned that she needed to find the weak part of the wood. So she would look at the grain of the wood, and she would find where it was weakest and punch it there. And that's how she learned to break the block of wood. And I think it's similar when you're trying to achieve a goal in life. Your first few attempts or first many attempts you can fail miserably. For some reason, I envision it in my mind as the force field from the Hunger Games around the arena. You know, they run into it and it just throws them back. Okay, but eventually you learn concepts or ideas or lessons that will allow you to make huge progress. If you think about it, the block of wood, learning to find that grain, that is such a huge concept. That has so much value. Without that, she would not have been able to break the wood with her bare hands. But when she learns about the grain and finding the weakness of the wood, that small piece of information is so valuable that it launches her forward in terms of progress. And I think the same thing is going to happen when you're trying to achieve a goal. You're not going to be able to do it off your first try. I think it's impossible. 99.99% of the time, I think it's impossible to achieve a goal from your first try. But I think through mentoring or through advice or learning or reading or whatever it is, you can learn concepts and skills that will help you progress, that will help you learn these huge, valuable, and powerful strategies to move you forward in terms of progress. Okay? Now, in terms what I mentioned about learning from other people's mistakes when you're trying to achieve a goal, I know it's pretty obvious, but there's a quote by Sam Walton. Let me just find it. Alright, so one thing that Sam Walton said, Sam Walton is the founder of Walmart. One thing he said, everybody learns from mistakes, but it's a hell of a lot easier to learn from somebody else's mistakes. Okay? And I'm sure that is pretty self-explanatory. It's easier for somebody else to screw up and have to deal with it, and you just take mental note of that and know, okay, I'm not going to do that, right? Now, how do you actually obtain the knowledge from these mistakes? Do you know how many mistakes people make around the world that could be valuable to you, but if you don't go searching for them, they're not valuable to them. You need to actually find them. And I think that the number one way to do that is through books. Books and mentors, talking to people, but books especially. You can learn from a mistake in a book for $10, $20, if an expensive book, $40. Or you can learn from that same mistake by doing it yourself, but that way you might be spending years of time and energy, probably a little bit more than $20, $30, $40, right? When you read books, you spend a couple dollars on that book, and you can learn years and years worth of mistake prevention, okay? I think it's very important to read. In fact, this bookshelf behind me, I think for the next video, I'm gonna have it cleared out, and I'm gonna try to read one book a week, and I'm thinking every week you're gonna see books start to add up on my bookshelf, and I think that'll be really cool considering this is the very beginning of my channel. I think as I progress and upload more videos, it would be really cool to see those books start to add up in the background. But yeah, basically if you take the time to go out, seek that knowledge, seek those mistakes that people have made, and take the valuable parts from them for yourself, you can ultimately save yourself years of time, tons of money, energy, and motivation, all of that, all just because you go out and look for that knowledge. Another thing I want to add on to that is being able to accurately predict the outcome of certain scenarios, okay? If you're not thinking about the possible outcome of what you're doing, there's a very high chance that you're going to make a mistake. If you are able to accurately predict the outcome of something you do, you're very more likely to spot some things that you could recognize as being that you should be cautious around. So when you're thinking of taking another step to achieve your goal, or you're thinking of trying something new, take some time and think about what reactions you might get from people, or how that might affect you, all in terms of health, money, relationships, everything. Think about how it might affect you, how it might affect other people, and think about how it might affect your goal in more than one way. Because there's the way you want it to affect your goal, but then there's also the ways that it could affect your goal that you haven't thought about. Okay, so that's just another thing to add on to the whole books and learning from mistakes, is if you're able to think about stuff and plan them out, that could really help you in the future. So that's basically everything I wanted to say today. Let me know, again, as always, let me know what you think. Write something in the comments. Share it with someone if you think someone might like to see it. And if you'd like to, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.